Hey traders, happy election evening here in the US. Hope you guys had a fantastic day. As always, nothing in this presentation shall constitute a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Trading stocks and options involves risk, and specific financial issues should always be addressed by your financial advisor. All right, we're going to kick off with the SPY, which I have a bullish position in. The markets rallied in front of the election. We put in a bottom ahead of the election. So again, there was a sell-off into the idea of the election. Now we're rallying up into it. Granted, the volume has been pulling back pretty dramatically. But right now, the SPY just closed above the 200-day SMA in purple, and it closed above the 20-day EMA in red. That's bullish. And right now, day-to-day action sides with the bulls. Now, tomorrow, well, we should know the results. Maybe later tonight, there's a few races that it might take days or weeks until they get done suing each other and whining until we figure out who's going to control which house or whatever. But, the market didn't head into Armageddon. We just might have our bottom here now with the usual year-end rally. So I'll follow up with a video tomorrow night and again on Thursday, and we'll see what the market is doing. But I'm still bullish, and the charts are still bullish. And whatever I think is actually irrelevant, right? It's what do the charts show? The charts are showing bulls are in the lead right now in the short term. We're still below the 50-day, but we're starting to make a little bit of progress here. What would it take for the charts to be bearish? We would roll right back down below the 5-day and the 20-day. Doesn't take much. We just get down below the 5-day, finished at 272, basically 30 S&P points, $3 in the SPY. That's all it takes. And boom, all averages are pointing down. We would be below all the moving averages, and then a retest the lows or even break the lows would be possible. All right, DIA. Up 0.69%, finished near the highs of the day. We have now finished 2 straight days above the 5 and the 20. Again, 5 in blue, 20 in red, and they are about to cross, which is a buy signal. Yes, volume was very pathetic as compared to recent days, but price is winning. Bottom line. Qs, up 0.76% today. They are lagging. They are still not above the 20-day EMA in red. They remain, 5-day outlook because we're above the 5-day bullish, but the bears are still in control of the NASDAQ overall. The IWM. The Russell 2000 tacked on nearly 0.5% today. It is now above the red line. And MDY, the mid caps, they had a nice day, up 0.58%, 2 straight days above the 20-day EMA. Their target's going to be up here with that coagulation of the 50-day SMA in orange and the 200-day SMA in purple. Again, it could all change tomorrow, could all change Thursday once we know the outcome of the election. But right now, bulls are making a statement. They're pushing the markets higher. Only the Qs lag. 2 quick stocks here to look at. We'll keep tonight's video short. USFD, which is US Food Holdings, earnings moved today, big volume. They just took out a previous high. Once they get above the 200-day moving average in purple, really the gap fill would be the target. The initial where you gap down, but then all the way up here. Something like maybe a 20-day EMA I could consider as a trailing stop. And how about Symantec? Big move up today, 12.5%. We are into the gap already. Now, if you notice, we did get stopped at the 200-day, but we get above that 200-day, a gap fill all the way up at nearly $29 would be the target. That's a pretty substantial move. So 2 more stocks to keep an eye on. Now, I did get a couple questions, which I appreciate. You're always welcome to post questions to YouTube or email them. But one question was on TREX, and I talked about this one being seasonally bullish. We've seen big volume come in. I set upside targets of the 50-day moving average in orange, and then frankly all the way back up here. That's potentially a considerable amount of real estate for this stock to cover. And the question is, when you're doing your homework or research and we have technical upside or downside targets, how long does it take a stock to get there? Well, typically on the downside, stocks usually crash in an elevator, but go up on an escalator, meaning they can go straight down, but it takes them a while to go higher. There's no time frame I can specifically give for when a stock could get here or here. It may never get there. It's unlikely it's going to get there at the end of the week. If I wanted an approximate, it's probably not going to be as quick as it fell unless there's major news pushing it higher. It usually takes a little longer than that. But again, there is no metric for when it can get there. The next earnings report probably is going to be the catalyst. So if I had to pick a time frame, I'd say between now and 3 months. And then if not, the earnings report could be the next deciding factor. So in short, ballpark 3 months, but again, there's no guarantee. There's no way to measure that. There was a question on the VIX and how I see it into year end. There's no specific way the VIX must trade or will typically trade. A lower VIX is good for equities. That's basically how it works. Good meaning bullish. Higher equities, lower VIX. But the VIX has been down, in 2017, 2018, 10 to 12. Good part of this year, it's been about 12 to 15. Right now, we're at 19. With markets giving little buy signals, we're starting to get little sell signals hung with VIX. I'm not concerned if the VIX stays at 20, 15, or 12 by the end of the year. It just doesn't matter. It's really irrelevant as long as the markets are holding up. Now, if the VIX starts getting up towards 25 and 30, my personal opinion, that'd be more worrisome. Whether or not it stays at 20 between now and year end just doesn't mean anything. When I see the VIX moving accordingly in a concerning way, I'll be happy to share it with you, but I just don't see that being an issue right now. And then there was a question on just the overall long-term view of the markets. And if I use the S&P here, now I stated at the beginning that I do have a bullish position in the spiders. I'm still long-term bullish. There were some comments, and I always appreciate them saying, we're not going back to new highs. And the bottom line is no one knows. They're all just opinions. But if I take you back 5 years, keep in mind, in 2016, they were saying this was the mother of all tops. Then it moved to 2017, which was the most bullish year. Then we went to new highs back in September, and now they keep saying that we're not going to get there, those people. And that's okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But the reason the markets are going higher are still in place. They haven't changed. And the idea that rising interest rates is bad for the market, they need to do their homework. It doesn't work that way historically. Markets can still go up when the interest rates are rising. And money is not flowing into gold or bonds or even European or other world equities. There's nowhere to go. It's the only game in town. And even though interest rates are rising, it still doesn't pay you to put that money in the bank. It still needs to be invested somewhere. And the most liquid market in the world is the US market. And that's one of the reasons why it just keeps hanging in there. Now, would I change my tune and say, geez, I guess I'm not long-term bullish anymore? Sure, but I just don't see it yet. We start breaking below maybe 250 on the S&P, I might start getting some different opinions, but it's not like I'm all in and we must go higher. I really don't care which way the market goes, up, down, sideways. There's ways to trade it all. We can do credit spreads, we can do directional trading, we can do color trades. There's lots of trading opportunities out there. Most folks like when the market goes up. It feels most comfortable to them, and that's okay too. But what I see pushing the market higher personally hasn't changed at all, really. We're still moving up. So with that, this video got a little longer than I did expect. I wish you guys a fantastic rest of the week, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take good care.